Welcome back to History, Wars, and Weapons. We are going to read Simple Histories, a simple guide to the American Revolution. Let's get started. Coronavirus sucks. The French and Indian War. By the end of the French and Indian War, Great Britain had successfully driven the French out of North America. They have acquired new territory in modern-day Canada and colonies. To reward its forces of their service, the war Britain often presented several of its officers with French through taxing the colonies. Many colonists saw no need for British soldiers to be stand by the colonies after the war ended. A young George Washington served as an ambassador for the British during the war. The Stamp Act. One of the ways the colonists would have to pay for these soldiers' retirement was through the Stamp Act. The Stamp Act was a tax on almost all printed items, such as legal documents, paper, and even playing cards. The tax was imposed without the conscription of the colony government, and the colonists did not believe they should have to pay for the British troops when they was no longer an enemy to protest from. The Stamp Act was met cries of no taxation without representation, and saying would soon be rallied cries of citizens throughout the colonies during the Revolution. The Boston Massacre. Tensions were going in the colonies, especially in Boston. A crowd had gathered and began harassing a single British at the soldiers while screaming insults and verbs. Other soldiers, when one of these soldiers accidentally discharged his weapon into the crowd, it caused the others fire their weapons as well. That event left 5 colonists dead and another 6 injured. The Boston Tea Party, December 16, 1973. One night, the night of December 16th, a group of colonists dressed as Indian board British ships in the Boston harbor and cast the tea that was on board into the waters and protest $7 worth of tea. And because of this destruction, the British Act was known by the British upon the colonies massacres. That's a lot of tea. First colonist meeting, September 5th to October 26, 1774. In response of passing the Inquisitorial Acts of the colonists assembled to protect, eventually goal of their protection. The first time the colonies had come together against the British Empire, this would mean the spread the rebellions would be planted. The Congress would eventually meet again in the war run the colonist government for newly found nations during the Revolution. By this time, the Massachusetts colony had begun some supplies to be in a rebellion against the British. They did not go unticed, and the British soon began planning to destroy supplies and capture the rebels. However, the rebels were not their own spies. They found out the British planned. Paul Revere told Asolite to light lanterns in the windows of step peep of the old church. One was to be lit if the British were coming inland, and two if they were coming by sea. Once the lanterns had been lit, Paul Revere and several other writers set out summoning the local military and warned the advance of British troops. Thank you for watching part 1 of Simple Histories, a simple guide to the American Revolutionary War. Please subscribe. Hope you liked it. Bye-bye.